was a bright and sunny day in early May. I stood in the high school weight room during my first block class, which was strength training. It wasn't all that interesting, nor was my routine at school in general. It had been the exact same stuff for months upon months at a time. I was a senior now, and school let out for my grade on the 19th of that month, so I only had a few more weeks to go, though I was quite worried. People like my sociology teacher did not even mention the fact that seniors got out early. I didn't even know if they knew. The final exam for that class was fast approaching, even though I wouldn't be around for it. She's handing out assignment after assignment with no sign of ever slowing down for the year. In fact, it seems like she's actually winding things up. Her name is Miss Kink, and I have her for the 5th block right before the school day's over. That's a problem because she's one of those teachers who goes hard by the rule. The bell doesn't dismiss you, I do. This meant I'd always be late out to my car in the afternoons and would be forced to wait in the absolute monstrosity that traffic was. Anyway, back to the current situation. I stood in the weight room and looked out of a big window, facing the mountains to the west. It was a clear day, and the rising sun in the east made the scenery in front of me outside a vivid blue. I knew of a very specific place out there called Route 48. I know that this may sound very random, but let me explain. I live in western Maryland, and you can see the Appalachian Mountains from many viewpoints around where I live. Route 48 is in said mountains on a specific geographical feature called the Allegheny Plateau, and it's exactly what the name implies, plateau. Route 48 is a super highway that runs right on top of the plateau in the state of West Virginia. You may be wondering what I find so special about this Route 48. And here's the deal. Route 48, it's absolutely beautiful. It's wide, open, stunning bridges with stunning mountain views. And I kid you not, it's a 4-lane highway, 5 lanes in parts even. The catch though, and this is the reason I love it so much, is that there's always little to no cars at all on the highway due to it traveling through such a remote and desolate area. This means you can drive however you please. There's barely any cops. You can go fast, you can swerve, roll windows down, blast music, you name it. It creates the perfect enjoyable experience for any nice day. It's the exact opposite of what my school was. Boring, cramped, repetitive, dirty air, toxic lighting, truly soul-crushing environment over a long period of time. Anyway, as of the current moment, I stood by the kettlebell rack whilst I gazed at the distant mountains. It was weird though. I felt as if I could practically see Route 48 from where I was at, even though physically I could not. But mentally, I could. The Allegheny Plateau is a far remote part of the Appalachians. It's a sizable drive from my high school. I continued looking outside before I then thought to myself, now this is what I call the epitome of a gorgeous day. Too bad I'm stuck in this crusty slum. I did not believe in the concept of feeling sorry for myself like that. I like to go by the theology of accepting what you cannot change and changing what can. One may think of being stuck in school as something to accept, but no. I think otherwise. I got out my phone and shot my friend Colin a quick text message. Hey yo, wanna ditch class today and hit Route 48? Yeah, definitely. But I got a test in second block. We have to do it after that. How about we ditch during study hall? Hey, fine by me. And it was set. I knew for a solid fact that I didn't have much schoolwork to do that day, so I would not be missing out on much. During study hall would be the perfect time to do it as well, as I can simply ask my second block teacher to pull me to get some tutoring, quote unquote, done. Then, my study hall teacher will send me to go back to my second block class. But, instead of going there, I'll just leave instead. This will make it quite easy since I'll have my backpack on me. From then, the plan would involve Colin and I driving up to cruise on Route 48, before maybe returning to school afterwards. Emphasis on maybe. For the time being, I was still in first block in the weight room. My decision to leave school that day was confirmed when a classmate near me spread his ass cheeks on one of the benches. The smell of pure shit that engulfed our corner of the room. Why, Connor? Why? The student asked him.
Yo, bro, chill out. I went extra hard at the douche this morning. It's all clean, I promise.
Don't be confused. The scent wasn't just the odor produced from fart, but rather actual shit. Connor seemed so fruity bent over the bench like that. Meanwhile, the scent continued to worsen. Bro, I'd recommend you go to the bathroom, I said.
Trust me, man, it's clean. I promise. I just went too hard this morning, that's all.
Connor replied, still laughing. That was it. It was right then and there I knew I had to get out of that school and hit up Route 48. Because I'm going to be honest when I say that these kids, this late in the school year, were just acting totally out of pocket, straight up. Anyway, my first block ended and next I went to the other end of the school building to my second block class, which was history. That class is boring, but went by uneventfully without any weird complications. Pretty soon there was only 5 minutes left of that class, meaning it was almost time for study hall. Go time for Colin and I. But that's when a devastating realization came upon me. So you know my original plan of asking my second block teacher to call me in for tutoring during study hall, right? You know, so I could leave school? Yeah, well, my second block teacher also happened to be my study hall teacher. How could I have not realized that? This meant that I would not be able to go anywhere during study hall, meaning I needed another plan. The bell rang, indicating that the second block was now over. I went downstairs to an exit to try and escape from there, but that was when I forgot. The school had recently instituted guards at each and every exit from the school, so as to make sure no students escape in between classes.
Going somewhere, buddy?
A guard asked me. No. It was none other than Mr. McCracken. I knew him all too well. He was one of the school's recently hired guidance counselors. I specifically remember him from summer camp a few years ago at that one ordeal initiation ceremony. He's always smiling with a fake grin. He had curly dark hair and wore a blocky pair of glasses as well.
Okay now,
he replied.
make sure you get to class. It's a happy day, so smile.
Man, that blew. I was really in a sticky situation now, and Colin and I's Route 48 plan was currently in jeopardy. As of then, my last-ditch attempt would simply be to ask my teacher during study hall to go to the bathroom, and I'd leave from there. The only thing about that, though, is that they would see me try and sneak out with my backpack, so trying to do that would not be easy. So study hall began, and I took a front row seat where the teacher was. The worst possible seat if I wanted to pull this bathroom escape plan off. Luckily, my teacher began going through the list of students being pulled for study hall tutoring. My name was on that list. Okay, and Nick, you're being pulled by Miss Kink. I was ecstatic. Being pulled meant I could leave my room with my backpack, therefore escape from school. I slung my backpack over my shoulders and strolled out of the classroom, a smirk of success on my face. Being cocky like this was a mistake though, because as soon as I walked out into the hallway, I saw none other than Miss Kink standing there with her hands on her hips. Her classroom is pretty much located directly next to my current classroom. Her room also happened to be on the way to the exit that I needed to leave from. And here, Nick, we need to talk about that socialization DBQ you wrote 3 Fridays ago, she said. What the fuck? 3 Fridays ago? I thought that shit was graded already. Why in the world was she still concerned about it? Yeah, I'll be right there, Miss Kink. I gotta use the restroom first. No, Nick, come on. You don't have a pass. Oh, shit. Oh, now was my chance. I took off, and I booked it down the hallway towards the exit. Hey, get back here! She screamed. I was pretty far down the hallway at this point. I was feeling good, feeling adventurous, feeling bad. However, my whole bad boy persona was squashed on the spot when I glanced over my shoulder and witnessed Miss Kink sending none other than Mr. McCracken after me. He wasn't a very fast runner though, so I made it out to the student parking lot no problem. The fresh sunlight felt euphoric on my skin after being trapped inside that stuff box for so long. Next, I hopped in the car and texted Colin. He claimed that he had escaped school long ago somehow and was now waiting for me at the nearby gas station to grab some Monster Energies for our excursion. I liked the sound of that, and so I buckled up and began to start up the car engine. I was excited, still feeling good. That feeling didn't last long, however, when I glanced up in front of me and witnessed Mr. McCracken climbing into his big red Jeep Cherokee. It had a pop-on trunk, along with kayak racks mounted at the top. Unlike me who had backed in, Mr. McCracken had pulled into a parking space, meaning I was able to get a full and complete view of his vast and cheesy bumper sticker collection. He had everything from the typical Life is Good logo, all the way to stickers of his favorite happy music band as well. Oh shit, I thought to myself. The weirdest part of all this was the fact that, for some reason, he was parked in the student lot. I didn't have time to worry about that mystery, though. I had to get to the gas station so I could warn Colin about Mr. McCracken. I put the car in drive and hightailed it out of there before making a right turn out of the student lot and onto the main road. Unsurprisingly, Mr. McCracken also followed me out as well. I glanced in my rearview mirror and saw him smiling a fake grin, teeth showing and all. He was grinning so hard that his eyes were squinted. I sped up and swerved through the roundabout. Once I made it to the gas station, I saw Colin standing by the entrance, waiting to go inside. Mr. McCracken, too, pulled into his space right next to me. He then stepped outside and had a little chat with us.
Going somewhere fun, fellas? Come on now, let's go back to school. Just hop in the Jeep. It's a happy day for learning.
Quick, let's get these Monster Energies and scram, Colin exclaimed. We did just that. We ran inside and rushed to the back, where all the drinks were kept. Colin decided on the Ultra Paradise flavor, and I simply got an Ultra Watermelon. As we stood in line to check out, we could see Mr. McCracken waiting on the sidewalk outside. He had both his hands rested on his hips, and kept raising his happy eyebrows every time we made contact with him, which is pretty weird. After the two of us checked out, we hurried outside and got back into the car. Colin's plan was just simply to leave his car at the gas station until we got back, as we were taking my car. Next, we hit the road. Don't get it twisted though. Mr. McCracken was still right behind us as we sped down the road. We drove much faster than he did, luckily, so he left him in the dust in absolutely no time. We were both relieved. Mr. McCracken didn't know we were going to Route 48 that day, and so we finally both decided to relax. Fast forward 2 hours, and Colin and I were in the state of West Virginia. The time was just afternoon, so we had plenty of time and the weather was still great. Everything was was going smooth. We were in the process of cruising down a chill road that winded through a valley, trailing a river. We had the windows down to let the fresh forest air inside the car as we were just finishing up our energy drinks, which tasted great. The green trees filtered the sunlight, making even the air itself appear green. We were both pretty excited as well, as we know for a fact this was the road that would have the turn for Route 48 coming up on it at any given time. The map app on my phone predicted that we'd be coming up on it in 5 minutes, and it wasn't lying. Before we knew it, we were merging onto an empty-looking 4-lane highway that took us out of the forested valley and up onto a steep mountain. It began by cutting through the earth so you could see the layers of rock below the ground. It was then that we knew the day's adventure had begun. The next 20 minutes felt like a fantasy ride. The superhighway took us on top of the mountain and along the vast edge of the Allegheny Plateau with stunning views of the surrounding mountains. Vast bogs of cranberries along with said trees were all we could see upon looking to the side. But next, we crossed over a huge mountain bridge with arches supporting it. We were the only ones on the highway, so I could drive at like 90 miles per hour and exceed that if I wanted. But I began to slow down when I saw a Chad. Not just a Chad though. Wait, is that Chad? I said as we passed by a highway pull-off. And yes, it indeed was Chad. His appearance is all too recognizable. He took notice of us and began waving us down as he sped by. Oh shit, that is Chad, Colin exclaimed. I didn't waste any more time. I made an illegal U-turn on the highway at a pull-off area where Chad was at. It wasn't just Chad though, rather it was the entire Dewalski family, along with a whole bunch of other chill people from school. People like Steve and Frank were there, along with others like Seth, Brian, Hal, Luke, and many others. They all appeared to have set up shop in an extremely scenic recreation lot with stunning views in the mountains. The entire group had set up a bunch of picnic tables, chairs, and portable charcoal grills. I parked the car and Colin and I stepped outside. The warm sunlight kissed our faces gently.
Come and join the Dewalski cookout, bros,
said Chad. Chad, what are you guys all doing out here? Colin asked.
Well, you know, bros, I decided to take the day off of school today, as my family and I all decided to head up to the good old Route 48 for a good old-fashioned Dewalski style cookout. Feel free to help yourselves to any food you like.
Right on, stated Mr. Dewalski. We got beef brisket sandwiches, coleslaw, fresh cut watermelon, sweet tea, lemonade, and much more. Not to forget the banana pudding with key lime pie for dessert. All homemade using our classic Dewalski family recipe from our family ranch back in Texas. Hey, sounds good to me, I replied. I'm starving. Next, Colin and I went to make ourselves some massive plates of food. It was an absolute feast. I decided to bite into the ribs. They were the best I've had in my entire life. The warmth of the tenderly cooked meat melted as it hit my tongue. I tried a bunch of the other foods as well. The lemonade almost stung my taste buds. That's just how refreshing it was. The fried chicken is the perfect combo of tender and crispy, and I could indeed tell it was homemade. Homemade with a classic southern recipe that had been passed down the Dewalski family for generations. Like Mr. Dewalski mentioned, back on the ranch in Texas. Colin and I went to sit down with Chad as well as the other chill people from school that I mentioned earlier. We talked to them for a bit and found out that they too decided to take the day off. It was weird how they claimed they were all invited, but Colin and I were not. Though it turns out we were. I forgot to turn my phone on, as did Colin, as we both usually keep ours powered off during the school day, only turning it on once to text each other, but I guess we didn't see the messages. My notification center was bombarded with message after message from Chad, asking us to come to the annual Dewalski Route 48 cookout. It was whatever. We were both glad that we were there nonetheless.
Man, glad you bitches finally decided to pull up. We be chilling here all night,
Steve exclaimed. We are? All night? I said, confused.
Yep,
Frank squeaked.
Route 48, 20.
Really? Well, I guess it is Friday, said Colin.
Exactly, man. Now stop being a bitch. Yo, man, don't be forgetting about those shrooms,
said Brian. Ah, Brian. There are always rumors about people like Brian being into psychedelics and whatnot, and this proved it. Well, I guess we can stay overnight if you're okay with that, Colin, I said. Oh, believe me, I'm down, Colin replied. And it was set. We would all chill around and wait until Chad's parents went on home before the nightly dicking around began. We all sat around eating for the next hour or so. School had long ended by this point, and Chad's parents were now in the process of packing up the cookout supplies. We all went over to help them before they sped away, leaving just us. The only vehicles on site now were the cars of Seth, the car that Colin and I rode up in, and of course, the all-signature red convertible that belonged to Chad, supposedly. Now that we were all alone, Steve began getting antsy.
Ho, man! Hey, where them shrooms at?
Oh, well, Steve, there's a bit of a fluke in my plan. I accidentally left him at home today, but don't worry, I'll have him at senior week, said Brian. Something told me, however, that Brian likely never even had the shrooms in the first place, and what he was saying was just a bunch of talk. Anyway, the time is now currently around 6:30 in the evening, and Frank was currently at the gas station to run and grab us all some Monster Energies for the night. Steve insisted that he go in particular, as punishment for being a bitch, as he claimed. I don't really know how this was though. It was pretty uneventful for the time being. We simply stood around enjoying the sunset mountain view. Just then, Frank returned. He literally got each and every one of us different flavors of Monster Energy, which we were all fine with as it gave some variety. Frank got the white flavor, me the watermelon, Colin the Ultra Paradise, Steve the now discontinued Aussie Lemonade, Seth the Ultraviolet, Brian the Pacific Punch, Hal the also discontinued Ultra Gold, Lucas the original, and Chad, of course, insisted on getting a protein shake instead. It was almost all the way dark outside now, and we're all having a good time with our cans of liquid energy. We all got jump scared though upon hearing the sound of an Amber Alert coming from our phones. It was weird because it seemed more intense / frantic than usual. We all got out our phones and panicked when we saw that there was a search party out for us from the school. I clicked on the Amber Alert link and read into it. Apparently, our guidance counselor Mr. McCracken from school had sent it out and is now out looking for us. Just then, I began receiving a mysterious FaceTime call from my phone. Everyone huddled around as I answered it. I was then brought face to face with Mr. McCracken himself. He was currently inside of his red Jeep Cherokee and was driving on the highway. It was obviously all the way dark outside now, and so his face was only lit up by the dim light of his phone. He also had some weird, happy music playing on the radio as well.
Happy night, guys. Come on, I'll pick you up in a few minutes. We need to go back to school. It's not a happy world outside of school now, is it? Cheesy grin intensifies, by the way.
Oh no, school ended hours ago. Why the fuck are you tracking us down?
Well, we can't be skipping school now. How about this? Tomorrow's Saturday, and it's always better to be happy during a sunny day now, isn't it? So once I pick you all up, we can spend the night at Happydale High School and do some Saturday class.
Oh fuck nah. I then promptly hung up after.
What are we gonna do, man?
Steve asked, sounding worried.
I don't want to go back to school.
Don't worry, we'll be fine. Let's just hide, Colin said. It was too late though, as we could already see the distinct headlights of the red Jeep Cherokee slowly crawling its way up Route 48.
What are we gonna do, Bruce?
Chad stressed. This was not a good situation at all. It was nighttime in the absolute middle of nowhere with a crazy guidance counselor tracking us down. Luckily, we thought that we were saved in the moment when another car swung into the parking lot that we were in. However, our hearts all sank when that car revealed itself to be a blue minivan. We were all frozen as the driver pulled up next to us, not knowing what to do. Just then, the driver rolled down the window to greet us. It was no one other than Herbert Ernie himself. I had no idea how he found us out here on Route 48, but that's besides the point.
Good night, boys. Come on, hop in.
Oh, no, Con exclaimed. What are you doing out here, Herbert?
Little Frankie boy has been messaging me on Instagram all evening. He said to come join the party, but I also know that you both are in trouble. I can save you from Mr. McCracken.
Oh, fuck it, why not? I said. I guess you might be thinking, why in the world will we ever get into Herbert's blue minivan? But hear me out. We were desperate and we had to get away from there if Mr. McCracken was really on his way to come and pick us up. Besides, we figured that Herbert would probably just drive around somewhere random, knowing him, and that we can just ditch when we get to somewhere we feel like getting out at, just to get away from going back to Happydale High School, of all places. Fast forward 10 minutes later and we're all piled inside of the blue minivan, crawling up Route 48 at under 20 miles per hour, the pace of a snail. I had accidentally sat on some sort of roach's nest, which is disgusting beyond imaginable, and the whole car was coated in some sort of weird, mysterious syrup, if that's what you want to call it. Herbert? Colin asked. Where are we going? Herbert was now using his chubby potbelly, meaning hands-free, to turn the steering wheel onto a sketchy dirt road. One of the minivan's headlights was out, so it's very hard to see what was out in front of us.
We're going to the dump.
Herbert! No! I exclaimed, as Herbert was currently in the process of driving off a cliff into the sewage pit from Mineral County, West Virginia. I then woke up, heart racing. I was still in Miss Kink's sociology class, with Miss Kink herself standing over me with her hands on her hips. I had no idea how I fell asleep, but I did. Man, so I guess I was still stuck in school. I simply finished class and went on home. That really was quite the situation, if I do say so myself.